Woo! That's so many noises. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day. Oh my goodness. I'm a little like, Oh my goodness. Shoot. I didn't even mean to have that out. How's everybody doing today? I had my back procedure today. Shane, if you'd like to hold on for about a minute or two, then yes, I will gladly debate you. No problem, man. You are going to have patience longer than a goldfish, though. So you yelling, let's debate in the chat is not helping you. I will get to you as soon as I start taking guests. Okay? So, yeah, which will be in a couple minutes. I had my back procedure today, so I'm kind of hurting today. I almost didn't go live today. But, you know, I figured why not? I was kind of relaxing and enjoying myself today. So, besides my back hurting the whole day. But besides that, I've been having a great day. All right, y'all. As you guys are coming in on a TikTok side, please double tap that screenshot the live. If you're on the YouTube side, make sure you like and subscribe over there. We're going to start bringing up some guests for some debates in about a minute or two. And we can start having some conversations. Should be a lot of fun. Guys, also, if you guys didn't see my event that's posted for Friday, make sure that you guys are checking that out. Friday, we will have an interview, a special interview. I will be teaming up with Ari and Brett, and we will be doing a special interview on Friday night at 6:30 Central. It should be a lot of fun. I have a video posted about it, and I'll probably do a couple announcements about it during the day or during the night. So we should have a lot of fun with it. It should be a really, really good time. Little different from what I normally do. But you know, hey, we gotta do things different, right? We gotta stretch our bounds, right? Stretch our bounds and have some fun with it, you know? Oh, I don't think I'm the spiciest today. I won't say that, and I definitely won't be on spicy on Friday. So, don't get too worked up over there. All right, well, we're about to have time to start bringing up guests. So if you voted for Trump, go ahead and hit the request to join button. Who are y'all interviewing? There is a video. It's actually the last video I posted if you want to know right now and you can't wait. And if you can wait, then I'll be talking about it probably after this guest. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did vote for Trump.
Awesome. Do you understand what a mute button is? Good. We're off to a great start. Do you still support him?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't. I was just asking the question if you still support him. So why do you still support him?
Trump's the best thing that's ever happened to this country.
He's the best thing that's ever happened to this country. And how's that?
He's getting the job done.
Lots of presidents have gotten the job done on all sorts of things. What makes him the best thing that's ever happened to this country?
He's a good Christian man. He's deporting illegals. He's getting trans out of sports.
So, gotcha. So just to be clear, in your mindset, you believe that getting 12 people who were participating in NCAA sports out of that is better than ending slavery.
It could be.
And how could it be?
It's an opinion. I'm not saying that's my opinion, but it could be somebody else's
Well,
opinion.
I'm not asking about someone else's opinion. I'm asking about your opinion. So how is getting rid of 12 trans athletes that were participating in sport better than ending slavery?
Because we don't need these trainees in the sports.
Again, sir, how is that better than ending slavery?
Oh, I'll give you that one. That's probably better. But
Well,
everything
that's
else,
good. At least we could got to that part. So, what is he doing that's the best president ever? Because if we're talking about immigration, which is another thing you brought up, Biden and Obama both deported more undocumented migrants than Trump did. So,
yeah. Well, Trump's just getting started. He's got they got to figure everything out and get in a groove.
did you forget that Donald Trump was already president for 4 years?
Yeah, but he's got a new team.
No, no, no. But did you forget he was already president for 4 years?
Of course, I didn't forget that. Was the
Okay,
best 4 years.
so just be clear. In his 4 years that he was already president, he deported less people than Biden or Obama. So far in his term, he has deported less undocumented migrants than Joe Biden did in the same amount of time last year. Okay. So I'm still having a hard time understanding what you mean by he's the best president ever. He's done like the most stuff for America. I'm just trying to figure out under which metric we're judging that.
I'm guessing you voted for Kamala.
I asked you a question, sir. Under which metric are we measuring that?
As I'm saying, but if we had your choice for president, I don't think we'd have the Gulf of America right now.
Okay. Well, again, why? How does that help normal everyday Americans?
It's it's good for the country. It's good for the soul.
How is it good for the country?
It just is. I mean,
No,
claim
how? Not just it is. How is it good for the country?
Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. Which one sounds better? It's
Gulf of Mexico by a long shot, but how is it better for the country?
because it's good for patriotism for our country.
Were you not patriotic before he changed the name?
No, I was, but this is
I was patriotic before he changed the name. Can you tell me one person who was patriotic, who wasn't patriotic before they changed the name of a body of water that probably 95% of Americans have never seen, and then all of a sudden now they're more patriotic?
you would know.
I said, can you please tell me about one person who, who like wasn't patriotic before. They actually, changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico, and then all of a sudden, now now they're actually patriotic because it's a body of water that probably 95% of Americans have never seen.
Oh, I'm not a scientist.
Well, sir, it was your claim. You don't need to be a scientist for that. You were just making a claim.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's people out there. I don't know. I'm not everybody on. You know what I mean?
Can you please show me one person?
Yeah, my buddy Chris.
Your buddy Chris wasn't patriotic, and then they changed the name, and then he was?
Precisely.
Yeah, I don't even think you believe that when you say it.
No, ask my buddy Chris.
All right. Tell me where I can find him.
What, you want him to join?
Sure.
Let me text him.
All right. Well, this is interesting. Not working with a full deck, I believe, is kind of, overstatement, I believe. But, Hello?
Yeah, Chris said he's fishing right now.
Oh, okay. In the Gulf of Mexico?
Possibly, I don't know.
You don't even know what area your friend Chris lives in?
Oh, I do. I know he's around there, but I don't know if he's on a trip or what he's doing.
Sounds like a great friend. So, anyways, you've yet to describe to me one singular way that Trump is the best president for America, or even really one good thing that he's done.
He's he's a good Christian man. I think he could have been a good next pope if they're not already doing that now.
Awesome. What was the name of the last pope?
France,
The last pope's name was France.
Francine.
Can you tell me what you know what? I'm not even gonna push that far. Can you tell me what continent that pope was from?
Yeah, he's from Europe.
Nope, strike two, man.
Well, I know there'd be a test today.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna tell me that somebody is a good pope, I would assume you'd know something about popes.
No, I didn't say he was a good pope. I'm saying Trump will be a good pope.
Yeah, and if you're saying Trump would be a good pope, that assumes that you know something about popes.
Yeah, what's your point?
Is that you're not very intelligent.
I'm more intelligent than you.
Okay, if you believe that. But you have bored me because I actually like to talk about, with people that, whose two last brain cells aren't fighting for last, So, um, you have a wonderful day. Okay. You have a wonderful day. Yeah, he was very boring. And I will say, for Trevor, he's saying that like he was trolling me. If he was trolling me, then he wasn't very good at that either. To be completely honest with you, like if you're gonna troll, like maybe be a little bit better of a troll. I don't know. I've had some funny trolls, but I mean, you should at least attempt to be like kind of a funny troll. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but y'all do whatever you like. I prefer funny trolls. If you're gonna troll me, at least make me laugh. Make me haha. Make me LMFAO. make make me feel it. Make me feel it. All right. Y'all on the TikTok side, please make sure you're double tapping that screen. On the YouTube side, make sure that you are liking and subscribing. I really appreciate that. If you voted for Trump and you still support him or you don't believe that he is destroying America, make sure you hit the request to join button or you call in on the number above my head and we can have a conversation. That is truly what this is all about, is being able to have some conversations. Preferably ones with any intelligence level higher than the last guy. But again, the bar was in hell and he tripped over it. So, I mean, we're asking you to beat the last guy isn't exactly me asking for a genius, right? I'm not asking you to be Stephen Hawking or I'm not even asking you to be Elon Musk. I'm not really asking for you to be much of anything. Shoot. I'm not asking you to be as smart as Machine Gun Kelly. That's how low the bar is. And he's not too bright. You guys really aren't very good at being funny. Just thought I'd let you know, you guys really aren't that good at being funny. I assume that your sense of humor was left in middle school, which is where you peaked. I'm guessing. If you think that was like really funny, then I'm assuming that your sense of humor peaked when you did in middle school. Like truly. Like I just imagine people like just sitting around laughing about that, being like, "Oh my goodness, that's so funny." Like, man, you guys really must live sad lives. Or maybe you guys live really, really happy lives, honestly. Maybe you guys live really happy lives. Truly. Because I imagine that if like being that stupid probably is pretty nice. You know? Is pretty nice. Like you don't have to, like you probably don't have very many worries in your life. You're just kinda hanging out. That's my guess. Which is pretty nice. I wish I was kind of that dumb. Hello?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
That's good. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
No.
No. Okay. Well, then you really don't have much use here. But thank you so much for coming up. My hairline is offensive. Oh yeah, probably because I didn't brush my hair. It probably looks ridiculous. I probably should have done that before. Whatever, Bernie. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Whoever called me Bernie, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. All right, again, y'all, if you voted for Trump and you still support him, go ahead and hit that request to join button or call in at the call number above, and we can talk about it. Well, we're here just for conversations and maybe a few laughs if we can actually get somebody funny up. But so far we've struck out on both intelligence and humor. So, hopefully we can get there soon. Hopefully we can get there soon. I would hope so. Did Ty just say he doesn't still support Trump? Yes, that's what he said. Majora's Curse. I've literally never hung up on someone that called in. Literally 0 times. I mean, granted, I've only had like the call-in number for like, a couple weeks or something. But like, I've literally never hung up on a single person. So that doesn't make much sense. Like literally never. On the Water says, I'll pray for you. You do not have permission to do that. But while I do have, I don't know, like 46 people on YouTube, I got like only 400 people here on TikTok. That's kind of lame, but that's all right. On Friday, we will be doing an interview with one of the prominent members of the Satanic Temple. So that should be pretty fun. What's up, gaming? We will be doing a interview with somebody with his name is Eliphaz Costas, and he is one of the leaders of the Satanic Temple. And he is in charge of the Protect Children project for the Satanic Temple, and we are going to talk to him about Trump's new executive order on protecting schools from religious discrimination, and his project within Protect Children project, and it should be a lot of fun. It should be really, truly a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited about that. I've gotten to talk to a bunch of people on his staff and part of his crew, and they seem like incredibly great people, and they are really doing some awesome stuff over there. Also, I do plan on doing a little fundraiser on that night too, that's going to go and donate towards something that they're doing over there. And Erica, thank you so much for the goats. I appreciate that. And so it'll be a lot of fun. We're hoping to be able to get him on camera. We're not sure, but we'll definitely have the call in. And I will be there. Brett will be there. Ari will be there. And we're going to have a lot of fun there. So Hey, I'm on YouTube, but go here. It will be streamed on YouTube and on TikTok. So it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm hoping to get him on camera. There is no promise of that, but we'll definitely have him on the phone. And it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys are coming out, regardless of what religious background you fall under, whether you are religious or not religious, or any of those things. Make sure you guys are here. You guys are actually gonna have fun. I think that also we're gonna learn a lot about the Satanic Temple, which I think is a lot of stuff that maybe you guys don't know a lot about, which is really cool. I got to follow them through their chaplain program protest through Florida, which I thought was absolutely great. And they do some really, really awesome stuff with that we'll talk about on Friday. Not limited to, but also definitely including one of the almost completely free abortion clinics in the United States and building a second one, which I think is really, really cool. Which I think is really, really awesome. So Philly Cheesesteak, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really appreciate that. So, am I a Satanist? No, I am not a Satanist. I am very much an atheist, but yeah, I think regardless of your religious background, y'all, do they worship Satan? All right, I don't want to give too many clues, but no, they do not. Okay, the Satanic Temple does not worship Satan. Okay, so they do not. But again, these are all things we're going to be able to talk to him about while he's here on Friday. And no, they do not worship Satan. Do not confuse them with the Church of Satan. Okay, they are completely different. So again, we're going to learn so much. You guys are going to learn so much. It's going to be really, really awesome. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And so, yes, FOD, hail Satan, 100%. All right. Hey y'all, I'm still waiting for Trump supporters. I don't. Well, numbers are crazy low right now. I don't know what's going on. I joined the Satanic Temple when Roe versus Wade was overturned. That's awesome. Am I a bleeding heart Democrat? I'm not even a Democrat. So no. But again, y'all, if you guys would like to support, please make sure you hit that, or sorry, if you'd like to request in, hit that request to join button or call on the number above me and we can have a conversation. I am ready to have some conversations and debate if you voted for or support Trump. And these conversations can be really fun. They really are. So I really hope that you guys want to partake and enjoy. So I see Michael, I see Jonathan in my YouTube chat. Go ahead and call that number above me. We can have a conversation. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, they're actually building a second abortion clinic in Virginia, which is really awesome. So you guys should definitely do some research on them before you come on Friday. But if not, we're gonna do our best to make sure we between myself, Ari, and Brett, we do a great job at filling everyone in. So it should be a lot of fun. Hi, how am I feeling? I did have my back procedure this morning, so I am a little bit. I'm a little bit sore. Okay, I am a little bit sore. I am hurting a bit. And so yeah, I have my entire lower back is covered in Band-Aids. And so it's kind of hurting. I'm about to put that number in a Walmart bathroom. You can do it, but it's literally a Google Voice number, and I will literally get rid of it in 10 seconds and have a new one up like so quickly. Like I can literally ditch this phone number and have a new one within 2 minutes. So yeah, go ahead. I couldn't care less. Hello? Goodbye. All right, I guess someone decided to call in and then change their minds. That's okay. We'll get some good conversations and debates going on here. Chaos, if your entire life is revolving around putting different Google Voice numbers in Walmart bathrooms, then my first thing I'm going to say to you is you should spend less time in Walmart bathrooms because that's very creepy. Okay? You should spend much less time in Walmart bathrooms. Like I think you might have an issue, okay? You should probably be on a list. Like maybe I would try maybe getting a friend, you know? Maybe that could work for you, getting a friend, maybe, something like that. I don't really know what you could do, but if you spend that much time in Walmart bathrooms where you're just constantly going there to put up my number, I hope you get therapy soon. Okay? I hope you get therapy. Yeah, for everyone on TikTok, we're going to do a quick restart over on this side just because I don't know what is going on. These numbers are super low. But I'm going to stay up on YouTube and we're going to keep having conversations about how this guy likes to spend too much time in Walmart bathrooms. So, because I try to stay out of this. But TikTok people, I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Please make sure when you're coming in, you're double tapping that screen, sharing out the live. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even really want to go into Walmart bathrooms when I have to go to the bathroom and I'm in Walmart. So it's pretty wild to me to be like, man, I will keep putting your phone number into Walmart bathrooms. Like you enjoy being there. You know? Like you really enjoy being in a Walmart bathroom. That's quite that's quite strange. That's quite strange. Okay. Michael, do I support open borders? No, I don't support open borders. Neither does anybody else. Okay? Literally no one. Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
All right. Well, you're a child. That's weird. Chaos, you're literally the one saying you spend all the time in Walmart bathrooms. The way you make it seem is you'd be on the other side of the wall. Okay? Which is way weirder. Which is way weirder. Okay? You need a friend. All right, bud? Hello?
You like CBD toilet?
No idea what that person said. Literally no idea what that person said. But hey, I'm sure they are getting a great laugh out of it right now for that thing that I didn't hear. But yeah. Do we have to be over 18 to call? Yes, you do have to be over 18 to call. So not something that I like. I mean, but first of all, not something my rules. That's TikTok and YouTube rules on that. Second of all, you should get a. If you're not go play.
It was good, my nigga. Why you got lips like a bitch?
Do. You should go. Have some more fun. Maybe get some friends. Anything like that. Up to you. Up to you. Juan Carlos, you've been yapping in my chat for quite a while. Why don't you actually call in? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
So I saw your live stream.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And I would like to disagree about your live stream.
Okay. Awesome. So what can I call you?
You can call me Jeff.
All right. Hi, Jeff. All right. What would you like to disagree with on my live stream?
Well, obviously, you're saying that Trump is ruining America when, if anything, he's doing a lot better than what Biden has ever done or any other person.
Or any other person. Wow, that's pretty crazy. All right.
Well,
So
since the 2000s, I would say.
okay, awesome. So what is he doing better?
Well, for one, he has closed the border, which I personally think is a great thing.
Why is that?
Have you not seen the massive, what's it called? The massive amounts of illegal immigration in the past couple of years during Biden's term?
Yeah, we've had a significant increase in undocumented immigration. I think, according to most research studies, there was about 1.8 million projected new undocumented migrants in the country, and that is up from about the 800,000 to 900,000 that was under Trump. Yeah, but I wouldn't call that a. I mean, while I would call that an issue with the border, I wouldn't call it one that's that I'd freak out about.
I'm sorry, did you say that's not an issue?
No, I said while I would say that is an issue, I would agree that that's an issue. It's not something that I would freak out about.
Now, me personally as a person, I think that, obviously you should be documented if you even want to come into the country.
I agree.
And that, plus gas prices have also gone down.
Hold on. Let's not switch to gas prices. We can definitely talk about gas prices. I have no issue with that. But we're talking about during seeing like 900 to, I believe it was again like 1.3 million to 1.6 million under the Biden administration at the end of 2023. We haven't gotten the full 2024 numbers back yet. And again, these are projected numbers because we can't count numbers that we can't numbers of people that we can't see, right? So we're talking about going from about 8 to 900,000 under Trump to about 1.3 to 1.4 under Biden, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? And again, these are projected numbers, right? So why is that? 50% increase or so significant to you that makes a huge problem for you?
Well, have you also seen the amounts of illegal immigration, murders, and other things that they have committed?
No, I have not seen those numbers. And that actually, all of the data and research that we've seen shows that it is still that migrants in this country, especially undocumented migrants, commit crime at a rate 30 times less than American citizens do.
Sure. But okay.
So no, I from all of the data that we see, you're more like I should be much more afraid of American citizens than I should be of an undocumented migrant. So why would I be in fear of somebody who's less likely to hurt me than people that are already here?
Okay. I also have more of a personal.
Well, I mean that was an actual question, sir. Why would I be more afraid of somebody who is 30 times less likely to hurt me than somebody that's already here?
Well, for the person that is apparently 30 times less, more crime, whatever, blah blah blah, they're not documented. So if they did commit a crime, how would we tell who they are without any proper identification? No matter what their Mexican, whatever the hell it's called, ID says.
Well, if you hurt someone, I don't need to. I mean, it'd be good to know who you are and all that sort of stuff. But the important thing is that you're prosecuted and sent to prison. And as far as these undocumented migrants go, once they're in prison for their crime and they serve their sentence, and they're immediately deported. So I care more that they're off the street and imprisoned and then deported than to know what their name is.
So you're saying you would rather have someone, if they were to commit a crime, you would want them to get arrested and deported?
Well, yes, that's the way it's always been since our laws were, implemented in the 60s and then updated in the 80s, that if somebody commits a violent crime in the United States, right, they are arrested, they are given due process, right? They are sent to prison for their crime because we don't just take violent people and then just send them back to another country to go commit more violent crime where they came from. We imprison them here, right? And then after we're done imprisoning them, when they're done serving their sentence, they're automatically deported, right? Which I have zero problem with. Why would I not want, criminals that commit crimes to serve their sentence for their crimes and then to be removed from our country if they're not legally allowed to be here? That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, I can see that, but at the same time, with the amounts of illegal immigration when Biden was in his term, to the dramatic, or not dramatic, I can't English, but the dramatic drop of illegal immigration when Trump was within his first year. And I don't know if you know this, but Trump also did more in his first month than Biden did in his whole term.
As far as what?
As far as anything.
Well, that's not true, sir. Actually, the amount of legislation that has come out of the Trump administration in his first 100+ days is minimal, and Joe Biden had some of the largest legislation in the history of our country passed under his presidency.
Okay.
So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, really, the only thing that the Trump administration has passed from a legislative side is, right, the continuing resolution, which, again, even though the right owned both houses of Congress, couldn't decide on a permanent budget solution to continue on through the year. They had to go with another continuing resolution, right? And then they did the Lake and Riley Act, which, I mean, was, wow, that's fine in I guess you could call it how do you say? Sorry, I'm losing my words. It was very representative of a problem that people wanted to address. As far as what it actually did, is not much more than it was pretty much what the law already stated had to happen. Where if you look at the Biden administration, we have everything from the Chips and Sciences Act, the largest infrastructure bill this country has ever seen. The Inflation Reduction Act, the lowering of insulin costs, the forgiveness of federal student debt, the PACT Act, which I believe is a huge one. And those were all bipartisan pieces of legislation that were passed under the Biden administration. And the Trump administration has not come close to that amount of legislation, even if you combine his first term with his term now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I just don't understand what you're saying by he's done more in this, first couple months or something like that than the Biden administration did. I mean, he has a long way to go before that.
Yeah, another thing that I like about Trump is that he can actually walk up a flight of stairs.
Yeah. So
another nice thing.
Yeah, sure. So I hear that whole like walk up a flight of stairs, and yeah, we've seen videos of Joe Biden tripping, walking upstairs. I also have videos of Donald Trump tripping upstairs, by the way, in his first term. Those are not hard to find. Okay.
Right, well, the first time he was okay.
Yeah, whatsoever. I don't have a problem with that. But let me ask you, I'm just gonna test your logic here, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather have somebody, a president, okay, who couldn't walk at all, like was in a wheelchair, okay, that just passed amazing legislation that helped the American people, helped the American economy, helped the American foreign things,
he did, yep. Okay.
Or somebody who could walk who was horrible for the American economy?
So you're saying Trump was
I'm not making that. I'm not making a hypothetical. I'm making a hypothetical. I'm not stating anything with Biden or Trump.
Okay. So, for one, I'd rather have someone who can walk because I don't know if you know this, but Trump survived 2 failed.
I'm not talking about Trump, sir.
Okay, you're not. Okay.
I specifically just said I am not talking about Trump or Biden. I am specifically asking, would you rather have a president that was in a wheelchair that couldn't walk at all, that did amazing things for our government, for the American people, that helped the American system prosper, or somebody that could walk that was a detriment to that system?
Well, I mean, I'd also have plus I'd also rather have a president who could be able to walk and wouldn't have the best economy because, at the same time, things can always change.
What do you mean things can always change, sir? I'm talking about the
okay.
entire presidency. 4 years of one person who couldn't walk, but got the biggest piece of the best legislation
sir, call me
that
Kit.
American.
Call me Kit,
Sir,
okay, sir?
I am not upset, sir. I am sorry that your dad didn't love you, and you take anything with me
Wow.
actually freaking getting involved in the
I'm sorry that you're
conversation
just a liberal
as
sissy.
some type of freaking like hurtful thing. Okay, I am asking you a very simple question that literally a middle schooler could answer, and I would just appreciate it if you would answer the question. Okay, show that you have enough intellect to actually have this conversation with me. Okay, that's all I'm asking. One president never walked his whole presidency, did amazing stuff. Other president walked the whole time, was literally Schmittler. Which one would you rather have?
Well, if you're comparing a person who can't walk to Hitler, I mean, I guess I'd rather pick the person who can't walk.
Okay, cool. The entire point of that was your ability to walk does not decide whether you're a good president or not. Your ability to legislate, your ability to be diplomatic.
Well, somebody with
Those
dementia
are the
should not be
things.
running the country
We're
in the
not
first
talking
place.
about dementia. You didn't bring up dementia. You talked about somebody's ability to walk upstairs. That is what you brought up, and
Which
that
is
is
pretty
what we
hard
were
for,
talking about. Okay,
so-called
so
President
somebody's
Biden.
ability. I mean, how about one of the who was rated one of the best presidents in our history, FDR? He was in a wheelchair. Is that a problem?
Yeah. No.
Why not?
Well, I mean, he also did things that, helped the economy.
Donald Trump recovered, or Joe Biden recovered our economy from COVID faster than any industrialized nation on the planet.
Okay. So
The Wall Street
whatever
Journal, which is a
you-
right-leaning publication, said that Joe Biden gave Donald Trump an economy that was the envy of the world.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, let's get off this topic and let's also get into the Trump also brought almost 4 million jobs created since his election. More Americans are now employed than ever recorded in our history. We created more than 400,000 manufacturing jobs since his election. Manufacturing jobs are growing at the fastest rate. In more than 3 decades. So Donald Trump has also brought in a bunch of jobs, especially in manufacturing. Now we are also saving money by not having things sent in through China and creating more jobs for the American citizens.
Okay, well,
Sure.
a few things on that. You said he created how many jobs since he became president?
Almost 4 million.
Almost 4 million. Can I find a source for that? Because
Very
last
simple.
month's job creation numbers were higher than expected at 177,000. And considering he's only been president since January 20th, I would really like to see how if he had 1 month that was at an overage at 177,000, how he's somehow averaging about 1 million jobs per month. Because that would be an astronomical number. And let me put that in perspective. Joe Biden actually set the record for the most amount of jobs created in a 4-year period, and that was 16 million. And you would be saying that he is on pace for 48 million, which would be pretty crazy.
I'm not saying that, sir. I'm just saying since his election, he's created almost 4 million jobs.
All right, well, let's take a look at that. Let's see if we can find, I'm sure the Bureau of Labor Statistics has job creation.
You probably deleted all the Republican or conservative websites off your...
I was just
PC,
saying I was
so
going to
bet
the
you-
Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't, sir.
I was going directly to the source of the people who track that.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, this would be the Bureau of Labor Statistics underneath the Trump administration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look.
Unless President Donald Trump is lying, when he said that at one of his rallies, where he's created almost 4 million jobs.
Well, I mean, Donald Trump had over 30,000 confirmed lies just in his first presidency.
Oh,
So I'm not overly like surprised by that. But no, I wasn't claiming that because I don't really tend to watch a lot of his rallies. So, I mean, if
Why
you
would
say
you?
that,
Why would you?
I'm not going to argue it with you that he said that. So this is the number of jobs. Let's see. Employment changes by industry. This is 1 month, 6 month. So this is actually going by industry. I'm actually looking for. Sorry, I can show you guys what I'm looking at. It doesn't hurt my feelings to show you what I'm looking at. I'm trying to find where the Bureau of Labor Statistics actually reports these numbers because I know they report it very clearly. Transmission material in this thing.
I'm trying to look at you live, but it's very choppy for me. Probably
Is it very choppy on the YouTube side? Are you guys seeing me very choppy? Yeah, Phil, I just saw your Venmo. Thank you so much. Phil said even Whitehouse.gov, you know what that means. Says he created 345,000 jobs since he took office, and that was dated.
Sorry, you're not. I'm
April
sorry, I didn't
29th.
mean to say choppy. You're actually like delayed a bunch, maybe like a minute delayed.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm my TikTok is saying I'm not choppy, and YouTube, if you guys want to tell me I'm choppy, that's fine, and just let me know. Some people are saying I'm fine there too. So
It might just be because I'm on a call with you.
that might be it. Yeah. Let's see. Whitehouse.gov. Job growth in March, according to Trump. In March, U.S. added 228,000 jobs, nearly 100,000 more than the economists predicted. As of April 4th, the number of full-time work increased by a remarkable. Yeah, so even Trump's numbers on his own website don't even show 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So right here, the report highlights a resilient labor market as companies aggressively onshore jobs amid President Trump's bold trade and economic policies. Private employment grew by 200,009 jobs, well above the pre-election 12-month average of 124,000 jobs. The number of full-time workers increased by 459,000 over last month, while labor force participants grew by 232 as Americans seek jobs. Now, granted, these numbers are not matching what the Bureau of Labor Statistics say, or what any independent degree says, but even by Trump's own acknowledgement, he's still nowhere near 4 million jobs in 4 months.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that would be a number that is just illogical.
okay.
But Phil, thank
Well,
you
did
so
you,
much for the Venmo. I appreciate that.
Okay. Well,
So
obviously, I bet a bunch of people are trying to. I'm sorry. What's her?
no, it's fine. We're having a conversation. I'm enjoying this. Don't worry about other people. Okay.
You're enjoying this?
Well, yes, I enjoy dialogue and conversation. Do you not?
Oh, I do.
Okay, perfect.
Just not
Okay.
with,
So
certain people.
Yeah, so when we're talking about job creation, okay, how many jobs were created under the Trump administration in his first term before COVID?
Before COVID,
Right, because
unaware
COVID
of
lost Donald
that.
Trump. Donald Trump lost 7 million jobs because of the shutdown after COVID. So I don't want to say that
Well, that
those
was
numbers.
also COVID, not okay.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't want to give credit to Donald Trump for an unavoidable situation, right? I can't say that he caused the 7 million, job loss because of COVID. That would be unfair to Donald Trump, right? So I want to give the number before COVID started. What was his job creation numbers?
His job creation before this term?
In his first term, yes.
In his first term? I'm gonna have to Google that because
It's
do
okay.
not
I can let you know.
remember.
It's not a problem. It's about 5 million
Oh.
jobs.
Okay, about 5 million jobs in his first term.
Yeah, about 5 million jobs before COVID. Okay. And then COVID lost
Okay.
7 million jobs. So by the time Donald Trump left, he was at a negative 2 million jobs. Okay. Again, I'm not blaming Donald Trump for COVID job loss. That was unavoidable. That was just things that needed to happen. So I'm not complaining here. Okay. I'm just making a statement. What is the number of, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that job creation under the Biden administration? It was 16 million jobs. Okay. Now
16 million jobs that they made.
16 million jobs that were created under the Biden administration. Okay, so
Okay.
let's be fair. Okay, let's be super fair and subtract.
All right, we'll be fair.
Okay, the 7 million jobs that we lost during COVID. Okay, I think that's fair,
Okay.
right? Because those jobs had to come back. So those are the ones that were lost under Trump. They had to come back under Joe Biden. Okay, cool. So that means in Biden's term, he gained about 9 million jobs. Okay, during his term. All right.
Okay.
Which is almost double what Donald Trump had in his first term. Okay. So with his number right now, okay, in his second term, which is, again, according to his own website, about 350,000 jobs. Okay. Right now, he is still, with his first term and this term, about 4 million jobs short of Joe Biden in job creation.
Okay.
All right. So when we're talking about, Donald Trump doing so much in his first 100 days, Donald Trump says a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, he said they were eating the cats and dogs in Springfield. He said that magnets don't work underwater. He says that, sound from windmills causes cancer. These are all things that he said. He tried to redraw a nuke with a magic marker. Okay. He said that we were bombing airports in the Revolutionary War, a good 150 years before, or 100 plus years before airplanes were invented. Donald Trump says a lot of stuff, okay? Which is why I think it's very, 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 very important to really focus on the data and not what Donald Trump says. Because I don't know, how old are you, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
Me?
Yes.
About 17.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have to kick you off the live because now I know you're underage. I apologize. I shouldn't have had you on as long as I have. Okay.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, man, you should focus on the data and not what Donald Trump says. I don't know about how you grew up and stuff like that, but when I was growing up, we were always told there's like 3 people you can't trust in the world, right? It's like lawyers, politicians, and used car salesmen, right? So maybe we don't listen to what politicians are telling us. Okay, because they tend to lie. And I will say that from both sides of politics, right? Maybe we shouldn't be like super, super concentrated in what politicians are saying, because they do tend to lie. Okay, just being honest. All right, I had a bunch of people call in while I was on the phone with that guy. Sorry I haven't gotten the call waiting service to wait for you guys. So if any of the people on YouTube would like to call back in, or on TikTok, whoever was calling the number above my head, go ahead and call in now. I will wait for a second for one of you guys to call in, since I believe there was like 3 or 4 of you. So if you guys are still here and you guys would like to call in, you guys are more than welcome. Okay. If you'd like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. They're also in my link tree in my bio. And that really does help me to keep doing this every single day. I really appreciate it. For TikTok, where I do have gifting available, if you guys would like to help send me the little 1-cent gifts, we're almost done with this little goal. Or actually, we are done with that one. So if you like to send little 1-cent gifts, that also helps. Also, make sure you're sending your little your daily heart me's. I really appreciate that. And helping support that way is also great too. Also, we think we need like 18 more subscribers over there. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. And where'd the guy on TikTok go? I was about to bring him up. Anyways, yeah, if you guys would like to help donate, it really does help my live to keep growing, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't know where all the people went. We had one guy call like 3 times ready to talk, and then he disappeared. And then I had people in YouTube. They all left. That's okay. We'll hang out for a second. I'm not worried about it. Like, look, guys, the kid had to leave because, he was underage and all this sort of stuff. We can't have the underage people on here, but at least he's interested in politics. I'll tell you guys very much so. When I was 17, I didn't give a crap about politics at all. At all. Okay, I couldn't care less. But yeah, if you voted for Trump and you still support him, go ahead and hit the go ahead and call in on this number right here, or hit that request to join button. I really should bring up my other account over here. What's wrong with me? There's tons wrong with me, Bean. Like, so much. Like, you have no idea. Maybe that 17-year-old will have his government class next year. I thought they give those in like 8th grade now. I'm pretty sure my 8th grader is in U.S. government like this year. So I'm pretty sure he was past that. I'm pretty sure he's past that already. Okay, we can't rely on that. But hey, as bad as that was or whatever, like at least the kid did have an open mind. It seems like he was willing to listen and then converse and stuff like that. So I definitely think that's also really important. You know, that's also really important. Debate is not information. Literally, Donald Trump had a presidential debate and literally said they're eating the cats and dogs in Springfield. Okay. That was a real thing that happened. And you want to talk about not having misinformation on a debate stage. when Donald Trump literally went up there, it was like, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. Like, that was literally what people were saying on those things. That's what Donald Trump was saying on that. And do you want to do Joe quotes? I can do Joe quotes. How about this? Apex, you call in this number right here, okay, above my head. You go with, you tell me Biden quotes and I'll tell you Trump quotes. And then we'll put up a poll and we'll see who, like, what people think is funnier. Okay? We'll put up a poll and we'll see who's is funnier and crazier. Okay? But we'll see. Okay?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cats. Why would you do that? Eat something else. People of Springfield, please don't eat my dog. Here's a catalog of other things to eat.
They're eating the dogs.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They're eating the pets
Of the people that live there.
They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They're eating the pets
Of the people that live there.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets
Of the people that live there.
They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets
Of the people that live there.
I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, but no, please tell me about misinformation in debates. Please tell me all about it. Okay? Please tell me all about it. They're eating the geese? Oh my God, they were eating the geese, y'all. Did someone just call me and I didn't even get it? Dude, sometimes this thing don't ring. I'm calling back whoever just called. Guys, if they're eating the geese, next thing you know, they'll also be eating the chickens. And it's gonna get really crazy out here. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
So, my friend gave me this phone number.
For what?
I don't know. He just said to call this.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, you gotta go then. This dude is petty, Cameron. I actually thought you called me pretty for a second, and I was actually really excited about that. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate being called pretty. All right. I thought so, Tara. I thought I was looking kind of cute today. All right. I thought I was looking kind of cute today. All right. So anyways, y'all, if you voted for Trump, go ahead and hit the request to join button if you're on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that call in on the number above me and we can have a conversation. I promise you, I don't bite. Unless, why are I'm getting phone calls and they're not ringing? All right, I guess I'll call back this one too. Someone just called and for some reason I can't hear it ring. It's very annoying. Hello?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Hi, how are you? Oh, you accidentally called twice. Okay, that was weird. He seems a little zesty and much of a nerd. Okay, well that's not English. That's okay, Juan. It's okay. I forgive you. Oh, guys, for you guys on TikTok, Cameron did just call me pretty. That was really nice of him. I appreciate that. So I'm not a little zesty. I'm a lot of zesty. And I'm a hell of a nerd. That's for damn sure. And I take that with pride. I take that pride. You can hear the ring? Like, dude, I just got another call. I'm literally getting missed calls right. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. My goodness gracious. I had do not disturb somehow turned on. Whoever was just calling, call back. I apologize. There we go. Hello?
Nigger.
All right. Well, we have another, very strong Trump supporter there. That's pretty standard, though. That's pretty standard. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Better than most, worse than some.
What'd you say?
I said I'm better than most, worse than some.
There you go. All day. Did you vote for Trump?
No. Actually, I even worse. I'm one of the worst. I didn't vote.
That is one of the worst. Yes, I will agree with you.
I'm kind of like how'd you say it? Like what is this in the whole scheme of things? You voted for Biden, I take it, or you voted for Kamala?
I did vote for Kamala. Yes.
Okay, so in the whole scheme of things, what does this all matter with these stats? Like, I was just listening, and you guys are giving stats back and forth and not to trust the government. But, like, in the end all, if there's no actual movement towards anything, what's this matter?
This isn't supposed to be the end all. There is supposed to be a movement.
There was tons of movements. None of them seemed to work. I was actually a huge Bernie supporter back when Bernie was doing his thing.
Not every movement works the first time, man, or even the second time. I mean, how long did it take to get the Civil Rights Act passed? How long was women's suffrage?
True. Good point.
Meanwhile, I mean, Martin Luther King was assassinated before the movement was even, well, I would say complete, but I mean, I don't even think that we can call it even completely complete right now, right? Like,
well, I would complete. I don't know if I could say it was complete, but I could say we're in a much better place than it was.
Completely, and you know what? I'll say that, hey, movements are movements, right? They take time, they take evolution, they take generational change, they take They take a whole bunch of stuff to actually get to where they're supposed to be. I don't think we should have an unrealistic expectation that that a movement is going to solve in the first time or the fifth time or within a decade or within two or whatever. Right? These things take quite a while.
Yeah. This I can agree with that. At the same in the same notion, I'm more of a person who would be like, I put all the politics to Trump and this whole insanity to the side. But even though it sounds bad, it's a hot take, sounds bad. It's not affecting me right now. Maybe it might possibly in the future. But I did this whole freak out with George Bush, because I'm like 40, I'm 42. So I did this whole freak out with George Bush. And I feel like it's just like a whole reset, the whole thing just going back again. It's like,
well, George Bush did put us into a 20-year war, and there was a recession and a housing market bubble crash.
Yeah.
So
and there was
you're saying
anybody did about it.
but you're saying like oh, I did this whole thing with Bush and then it was no big deal. Well, it was though.
I didn't say that was no big deal. I said there was nothing we could do about it. It was what it was.
Yeah, you could vote better.
There was no other side of that. What's that?
Yeah, you could vote better.
That's in. Who was up against? I can't remember who was up against Bush.
Bro, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't remember that because my first election wasn't until 2008 because I turned.
Okay, all right.
I turned 18. The month after the 2004 election.
Okay.
Yeah, so I turned in December of 2004 is when I turned 18. So I didn't. I don't remember. I'm being told in my chat that it was John Kerry, or someone saying Gore then Kerry.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember those now. Yeah. I remember those. So my whole thing was.
What up, 86 in the house? Sorry, I saw that. Had to throw up the hands for 86 in the house. Hell yeah, baby.
So I did this whole thing for a while with Trump in the first time he went in, and I actually ended up going out with a girl whose parents and relatives were like Trump supporters, but I didn't stop that from having dialogue with them. And you know what? I will give them credit because a lot of people, the internet is not like real life. And these are actual people. And so when I sat down and talked to him, like this he's extremely intelligent, older guy. He completely built his own house cabin by hand. And the things he was telling me, they were pretty interesting. And I was willing to have that on the table, and we had a dialogue, and it didn't end with I'm never going to talk to this person, or Trumpers are stupid. I just think it's just different points of view. But when you look at it from a stand back of how we're dealing with it, it feels like football teams, man. It really does. It's just like, well, my team. Well, and it's like, well, what are we doing to come across the aisle?
But I don't want to come across the aisle, and I think that's the confusing part. Why would I want to come across the aisle, man? Like you are 100% correct, right? That the debates that we have on the internet, the debates we have in spaces like this, are not like real life. I completely agree with you on that. Okay, but why would I want to come across the aisle? What's across the aisle for me? What's in the middle for me?
Well, I think even just finding a middle ground would be interesting.
Okay, well let me put it this way. Okay, so you said you're 42. I'm 38 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
38 years old. I have a 14-year-old daughter. Okay. Right now, due to Donald Trump's selection of Supreme Court justices, due to the strict laws that have been passed because of that in red states like mine, okay, my 14-year-old daughter doesn't have the full rights to her own body, right? Like right now, they are banning books in this state, right? And like Florida's been well known as like the banning book state. My daughter, if something happens to her, if she's freaking, essayed, assaulted by somebody, she can't get the medical care she needs. We've actually seen, like OBGYN, like deserts in my state. Okay. all
Okay.
due to Donald Trump's, insistence on having the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Where is the middle
Okay.
ground between my daughter can't get the rights and education that she deserves and she can? Where is she can't and she can? Where's the middle ground on that?
I think that when it comes to something like, well, I think it's completely egregious that was overturned. I didn't even understand why there would be a need for that to be overturned. Maybe I think the middle ground would be. Well, no, you're right. On that, in that aspect, you're right. I mean, there should be no. You should have autonomy over your own body. Like that's a given. So I give that to you. But when I say a middle ground, like find out why they want this overturned, right? So what's the main reason behind them wanting it overturned?
I mean, I've argued abortion many times, over the year and a half or so that I've been doing this, right? I've argued abortion many times, and most of it is based off of rhetoric that is not true. I usually get, arguments such as late term abortions and trying to block those when that's not a medical term, nor is that happening. I usually get, I get a religious arguments a lot of the time, right? Which is, which has nothing to do with me, right? Like we do have separation of church and state in this country, right? And your religious beliefs constrict you and not me, right?
Yeah.
And so the reason why they do those, why they have those beliefs, have nothing to do with me, right? Like they have nothing to do. And at the end of the day, my daughter is still left without her rights. My daughter is still left without her ability to have bodily autonomy. My daughter's, ability to learn is still constricted. Okay. And there is no middle ground in that. There's just not. Like if you want to talk about the middle ground between like economic policies, right? Like, and we're talking about big government versus small government or such things like that, or the middle ground in between, globalism and isolationism. Like we can talk about middle grounds when it comes to those things, but those aren't the things that we're talking about right now, right? The things that I'm concerned about are things that have to do with the fact that Donald Trump just signed an EO backtracking on Obama era policy that made sure that black and brown kids weren't disproportionately punished in schools, right? There's no middle ground on that, man. It's no, they should not be disproportionately punished. Period. And I don't really have any bending room in that.
Now, that one that was just that you just spoke about, which one was that just said that you were just talking about?
I mean, I'd have to pull up the exact name of the EO, but I can do that. 1 second. I had it up earlier and I forgot the name of it. So you have to, there you go. Fact, Donald Trump reinstates common sense school discipline policies, reinstating common sense non-disciplinary school discipline policies. That was the executive order that he's talking about, and that's according to Donald Trump's own website at whitehouse.gov.
Okay, and that basically says that they will they will be punished more.
No, we already knew that they were being punished more, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why Obama put in a policy to make sure that they were leveled out. Pretty much what was happening is what we were seeing, and I don't want to get too far into this because I actually do have a special guest I'm talking about this about in a couple days. Okay. But pretty much we knew that like black and brown kids were being punished at a super high rate for things that were not non-violent things or anything like that. Things like tardiness or things like, being on your phone or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they were being suspended from those schools. That suspension from those schools was keeping them out of school, was keeping them away from the classroom so they weren't learning as much. We're allowing them to get in more trouble.
Fall and fail. Yeah.
Yeah, because now they're running the streets instead. When Obama's policy said, "Hey, instead of doing that, what we need to do is actually counsel these kids. We need to find out the root cause of these kids, of these problems that these kids are having, and we need to make sure that they can get into the classroom and actually learn and be a part of the classroom experience, because that is what is helping them move forward in life." Right?
Yeah. Gotcha.
I don't have a middle ground in between making sure children, no matter their color of their skin, okay, are in school to learn, understand, and be counseled and be treated like children, because not all kids have the parenting advantage that the rest of us do. You know what I'm saying?
This is cool.
And
This is
so
true.
for some people, the school is their only crutch, and they might be late because of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they were working a job in high school. You know what I'm saying? They overslept, right?
Gotcha.
And we need to look at the whole person, the whole reason. I can't find a middle ground in that type of
So
rhetoric.
you can say there are some places where a middle ground could be met, but there's definitely things that are off the table, is what you're saying.
Right, but a lot of the things
understand.
that are but the things that are off the table for me seem to be the things that the Republican Party is most adamant about, right? Treating immigrants like human beings. Like can we start there? Giving them due process under the Constitution, right? Okay. I'm not saying don't deport them. I'm just saying they are human beings and they deserve due process. Okay?
That's fair enough.
And exactly, like I don't have a middle ground between treating human beings like human beings. Period. End dot. Doesn't matter who the human being is. I deserve that I believe they deserve to be treated with as human beings, with certain human rights. And I also believe that due process is something that, that we all should get. I can't accuse you of a crime. I can't punish you for a crime unless we've proven that you've committed that crime. Right?
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what the Trump administration is fighting against on me right now, right? Like they're fighting against those ideals. So I think that's what, and let me be very clear. I have people that I associate with that are Trump supporters, right?
Yeah.
I will say there's certain family members of mine that are Trump supporters, or certain in-law families of mine that are pseudo-inso. I'm not married, but in-law family that don't agree with me on those things, right? Or don't agree with me like politically, okay? But and I'm not saying that we're supposed to have these type of debates, we're supposed to have these type of arguments in our personal lives. All I'm saying is that there are certain things that I cannot find a middle ground on. And those things are going to be human rights, bodily autonomy, the rights of, equity between races, equity between genders, those are any type of discrimination. I just can't.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I just wanted to get a more of a base of more of a look into your viewpoints on it. I mean, it's fairly reasonable, which I could almost say most people I know are fairly reasonable people. So I look at what's going on. It's definitely on more of a Trump's level on the scale of it. It's more towards that, him pushing that, than what basic people would think. If you explain it just like that to basic people, I don't think a lot of people would have issues with that. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like it's not explained like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a difference in the way that we explain certain things like that, and there's a different way that we talk about economy. There's a different way that we talk about immigration. But this isn't all a giant kumbaya session. Also, right? I'm talking to adults. They're dealing with adult situations, and these situations aren't easy. They're complicated, right? So we need to be ready to stand 10 toes down on what we believe, and to be able to have, conversations about these things. Okay. And whether you voted for Trump, trust me, I piss off freaking people on the left all the time. Okay. With the things that I say, that's okay to me. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. All right. It's about what is true and what is right. And when we start talking about what is true and what is right, everything else falls by the wayside.
Okay, I could see that. Now, my thing is, how does that look? Is so what you're trying to do? What does that movement look like? Like, are you just trying to get people to vote Democratic? Or are you like what does that push look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, for these rules to get overturned, or some sense of civility. How does that look? Like, what does that movement look like?
I'm a small cog in this fight. Okay, I am a small cog in this fight. My objective is to have conversation and debate with people. Okay, that's my job, to educate people. So, that is raise awareness. That's a great way to put it. That is my job. Okay, that is my place in this. There are great, amazing freaking organizers out there. There are great people that are going to help move this forward, who are a lot smarter than me at that, right? At doing those things. And maybe one day I will be able to get more into that sort of things, right? But the point of this is to talk, have the conversations, have the debates, debunk misinformation, and to be able to actually educate people on what is going on, like the reality of the situation, not what Fox News is saying or what CNN is saying or what Trump is saying or whatever, to really dig down into the data and actually understand what we're actually talking about and go from there. And that's what I feel my job in this cog is. And
I can definitely respect that.
Mm-hmm. And again, maybe one day it'll be more than that, but not yet. This is where I'm at right now.
Hey man, it's one step at a time.
Absolutely. All right, man. Hey, I am going to hang up on you right now. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can move on to some other guests.
Have a good one, man.
But I hope you have a good one also, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right. You guys know I don't normally talk to not voters, but you know what? That actually was a good conversation, and I really appreciate having that conversation with them. I really appreciate that. Y'all, if you voted for Trump, go ahead and hit the request to join button or give that call in right there. I am turning off the ringer while I'm on the phone with somebody. So if you called while I was on the phone with him, I didn't see it. And I only can talk to one person at a time on this call system, which I'm working on. I'm working on that. So my bad. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That will help me keep this live pushed out on YouTube as I start to move in that direction. Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Hi. Can you hold 1 second?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Can I mute this spammer? Yes, I absolutely can. Sorry, I actually haven't gotten mods on this yet. I'm working on it. I need YouTube mods really bad. If I know you from TikTok and you're in my YouTube chat, like gonna be there every night, please let me know so I can mod you. But yeah, anywho. If you're on TikTok, let's get this thing up to 80,000 likes. I really appreciate that. And make sure you hit that follow button over there. If you're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. And it's also in my link trick in my bio. That really means a lot. If you send something and send a message, I'll be more than happy to read it on the live, as long as you guys aren't trying to get me in trouble, okay? As long as you guys aren't trying to get me in trouble. For the TikTok crowd that I can't actually gift, make sure you send your heart me, send your little 1 cent gifts too. Those all help to push the live out, and do go to support me also. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, guest. How are you? Caller, how are you?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey, I'm hanging in there tonight. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right during these, unprecedented times.
All right. Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Do you still support him?
No, man. I actually realized that I made a big mistake, and I'm honestly pretty disgusted with myself.
Okay. And why is that?
Well, just like I see a lot of people say, they thought that he was gonna, do something for the country and, make the drastic changes that we truly needed. But, again, like everyone who debates on TikTok, they're correct when they say people are uneducated, and people need to quit being so stupid and listening to either other people or fake sources and doing their research. But yeah, I truly regret my vote, man.
Well, it is very good to talk to someone who does regret the vote, and I don't consider the average American stupid. I really don't. I consider the average American to be uninformed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not a hit on anybody. Most people are living their daily lives. Most people are doing things that are not concerned with politics, right? I just think it's
Right.
important for people to be educated voters enough to be able to learn, right? To be able to understand that they're not the most knowledgeable person on everything on the planet, and to be able to move forward and to do better the next time. And I think that's really where I think the American voter can really thrive.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I already have a Democratic governor. So
What state?
I guess that Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will be, and it's kind of stupid to say, but like even when I would talk to my parents about what Trump was going to do, oh, he's not going to do that. Yes, he is. Oh no, some people just won't back away from what is right in front of them, and it's honestly truly mind-boggling.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, you know what? I do see that, a lot of people in the Trump land. I really will say that I think that it's a cult. And I think that people have invested so much, whether that's in monetary things for flags on the back of their trucks or t-shirts or hats or whatever, that it feels kind of wrong for them to leave at that point. And I think maybe that's a big part of the problem, is that people got so invested on Trump the celebrity, not Trump the president, and that's really what caused a lot of the issues.
Correct.
So
Yeah, man, I just I'm sure people are probably laughing and probably like this guy, because I am really a part of the problem when you think about it. My vote brought him into office, so I feel like, I am part of the problem, which is why I said in the beginning is why I feel disgusted, because, when you're a part of the problem, I don't know how else a person could feel.
yeah. Hey, man, you're supposed to understand what's going on, and you're supposed to make decisions. We all make mistakes. This was a kind of rough one, but you made a mistake, and there's nothing wrong with people making mistakes. People make mistakes. We just try to correct them and move forward, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Kayla, thank you so much for the Venmo. Kayla said, tell caller if he needs to find therapy while he leaves the cult, I have resources. And Kayla actually is a therapist in my TikTok side of things. So if you need any information there in therapy, first of all, we should all just be in therapy, because that's better for all of us.
All right, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I'll have to take her up on that offer.
Yeah, well, make sure you message her or whatever. And I do have my my Discord link and stuff like that in my profile on both my TikTok and my YouTube. So you're more than welcome to message her. I can definitely hook you up with Kayla. She will. She's really great.
All right, well, for sure, man. I appreciate your future help in helping me leave this cult.
All right, man. Well, it seems like you're well on your way without me, so I really appreciate that. All right, you have a good one. All right, man.
You too, brother.
Yo, can we get big W's in the chat for that last caller? That is something rare. We don't hear that all the time. So, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. And Kayla, again, thank you so much for the Cash App. I really appreciate, or for the Venmo. I really appreciate that. All right, how long have I been on? I think we got time for one or two more callers. Sorry, I'm kind of looking at something because I'm being bugged by a significant other of mine about what we're eating for dinner. And so I'm kind of looking at that at the same time. But again, if you voted for Trump, go ahead and hit the request to join button, or you can call in on the number above my head if you're in YouTube land, and we can have a conversation. I will say, I have been enjoying the guests from calling in on YouTube a little bit more lately. A little less unhinged. I will say that. A little less unhinged so far. But I do have a couple people over on the TikTok land that it looks like want to talk also. So We can definitely get in some conversations either way, and I think that'll be really fun. All right. Sorry, I'll stop freaking being over here. Okay, I think I found what I want. Hello?
Hey, bro, you see Bitcoin's at $98,000?
Okay.
What altcoins you buying right now, dude? ADA's a good play, and Avalanche too.
Yeah, I'm not really a crypto bro, but thank you.
Oh, dude, when it breaks 100, and if he starts adding it to the strategic reserve, bro, we're going to 130.
Well, good luck with that, but I'm not here to do a crypto investment live, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
Yeah. What would you like to debate?
I just want to know why you support him.
Well, he's kind of going through with everything that he's committed on the campaign trail.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can
We voted
challenge
for
that, I
tariffs.
believe.
We voted for the 10 to 20 million illegal immigrants to be kicked out of the country. What else?
Well, I mean,
Probably things.
well, I mean,
abortion back to the states instead of it being a federal issue.
he actually did that last term. So that was on his campaign trail in 2016.
Okay. Anyway.
So that doesn't really help anything. All right. Well, we can talk about things that he promised on the campaign trail. He said he would end the war in Ukraine and Russia within 24 hours of being president-elect.
Unfortunately, he did not, but they already came to some peace talks, I think, 2 days ago and signed an agreement.
They came to peace talks for a 3-day ceasefire for Victory Day.
Okay.
That was just a temporary ceasefire so that Russia can celebrate.
I mean, at the end of the day, we don't, as Americans, really have control of that war. But
I mean, I'll agree with you on that. But you just said that he did everything that he said he was going to do on the campaign trail, and I was just naming things that he didn't.
He may have not completed everything, but he is doing what he said he was going to do.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. Completed, like doing it would have been doing it within the first 24 hours of him being president-elect. That was the claim that he made over and over. So that's already passed. He already didn't do that.
If Obama didn't do all that shit in Ukraine in 2012 and 2013, this wouldn't be happening.
We're not talking about what Obama did or didn't do. We're talking about what Donald Trump promised on his campaign trail. Okay. Nobody forced Donald Trump to make the claim that he was going to end the war within 24 hours of him being president-elect, correct?
That's correct. But
okay.
What's your point?
So your claim, sir, I'm sorry, maybe we're confused on your claim. Was your claim that Donald Trump is doing everything that he campaigned on or not?
My thing is that he said he was going to do these things. Some might not be as timely as others, but he's still doing what he said he was going to do on the campaign.
All right, perfect. Well, on his campaign trail, he said he was going to lower your grocery prices, and then a week before he became president,
they have been lowering. Gas prices, national average, are lower. The egg prices that everybody's talking about is lower. Things are coming down.
Okay, sir. No, grocery prices are not coming down whatsoever. Now, gas prices have been coming down, and what
is your proof?
I mean, I can pull it up and put it on the screen if that's helpful for you, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, that's not a problem for me, okay? He said he was going to lower grocery prices, okay? And then a week before he took office, said that it was almost impossible for him to be able to lower grocery prices, okay? So he even admitted that he wasn't going to be able to. All right. So here's as of March numbers. We still are calculating April's numbers, but they do look worse. So I'm actually kind of doing you a favor here, to be completely honest with you so far. But if we look at the major categories based off the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, all items are up, food are up, and all items less than food are all up in price.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I finish? Can I finish my sentence, please, if that's all right?
Okay.
Awesome. So everything is up between 2 and 4%, minus energy, which I've already said is the one thing he did say gas prices would be lower, and gas prices have lowered since then. Not because of the reason that he said. He said it was going to be because of drill baby drill, which has not happened whatsoever, but the energy prices are lower. So, yeah.
Okay, so assuming all of that is true, I'll just grant you this, even though I don't believe that it is. Assuming all of what you said is just true, have you ever expected a president to completely change an economy in 100 days?
Sir, I never made that claim.
Well, neither did Trump. He didn't say he was
No,
going to
but
flip the whole economy in 5 days or whatever.
sir. You said that he is doing everything that he said he was going to do on the campaign trail.
Correct.
I did not make that claim. Okay. I
He's
didn't.
bringing
All right.
tariffs
So I don't
to
know
bring
why you're.
manufacturing back to America. There's already $7 trillion, I
Are
believe.
you going to let me finish a sentence during this conversation, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
But what
I
you're
did
saying
not
is
make
not
that
true.
claim. You could have easily made the claim, okay, that Donald Trump is doing some of the things that he promised to do. You didn't make that claim. And I
within
reiterate,
his plan, what I said is he is doing what his plan was to bring those prices down.
and I also reiterated your claim to make sure that that's what you said, okay? He is not on a plan to bring prices down. His plan is to bring prices up, and all economic projections say that he says...
Why would that be the plan of a president?
Sir, how old are you?
I don't need to tell you how old I am, but
No,
why
well,
would they want to
actually,
do
you
that?
do now, because now I need to know.
If
Can you at
he
least
did
give me an
that, then
age
why-
range?
How could, if he did that, listen,
Sir, how
if his
old are you?
whole plan was to bring prices up for people, how come he won the presidency again?
Sir,
If
what
he's
age range are you
actively
in?
trying to make prices higher for everybody.
Sir, I would love to answer your question, but every time I get 4 words into my answer, you start talking again. I will gladly answer your question. I don't have a problem with that.
Well,
But
it's
if you're going to
conspiracy theory.
But sir, if
You're
you're going to
factually trying to claim that he's actively,
Sir,
like his purpose is
if
trying to
you're
raise prices.
actually
And that's
going
just
to
not
ask
true.
me a question,
It's an
then you
opinion.
need to let me answer it. I have no problem
Yeah,
answering your
gas prices
questions.
are down, groceries down.
So you don't want to actually have an answer to any of these questions. You just want to grandstand and monologue.
I'm not grandstanding.
You are grandstanding and you are monologuing. You keep
Well,
asking
you're
me
not giving
questions.
me any proof.
See,
You're
sir, I
saying
just said
everything
5
has to be
words and
trying
you
to do it
started
on
talking
purpose.
again.
It's not an argument.
I just said 5 words and you started talking to me again.
I'm waiting. Like, what's your argument? Like, you can make these claims, okay, but what's to back up your claims that he's purposefully trying to make prices go up?
Because he said it.
What?
He said the policies that I am putting into place are going to cause a short-term problem for a long-term gain. He is saying that he literally came out and said the other day that he is expecting that things like toys and stuff during Christmas time are going to be empty shelves or higher prices for a long-term gain. He has said over and over and over and over and over that he is expecting the policies that he is putting in right now to raise prices to have a long-term gain in the future. So when you ask me why I think that Donald Trump is purposefully putting in policies that raise prices, it is because he said that. That's why.
Can I get a point in?
You see how I'm done with my sentence now, sir? You can speak as much as you want now.
Thank you. So yes, tariffs, as he has said, may have a short-term impact, but long-term it will bring manufacturing and jobs back to the country so people can actually have good careers, which has not been a thing for the past 20 years. Now, second, that may bring prices up a little bit in the short term, but he's already saying he's going to offset that with tax breaks. Tax breaks like no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, and a few other things in there that are helping the middle class. So if prices raise and we have less taxes, how is that going to hurt the middle class or anybody else?
Okay, can I answer now?
We will be able
No,
to
I can't answer yet. Sorry.
the US.
Still grandstanding.
What do you mean? I'm just giving you my point. Go
I know,
ahead.
and I'm ready to
You're
respond to
free to
that.
Okay, well, I'm now done.
Okay, first of
Why are
all,
you so condescending?
you have completely freaking abandoned your point, okay, that Donald Trump did not want to raise prices, okay, because now you are saying that he is purposefully raising prices through tariffs in order to
I've
bring
never said
and
that's
again
what-
he's talking.
That's what's happening.
Sir,
No, you're putting words
sir,
in my mouth. I
sir,
never said that's
sir,
what's happening.
did you graduate
He
kindergarten?
said that it is a possibility.
All right, be quiet. I'm not going to sit here and talk to a man-child. Oh, he ran. Grow up, guest. Okay? You need to learn how to have a conversation with another adult. All right? He hung up the phone. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? He hung up the phone because he didn't like to let anybody else speak on this conversation. And that's fine. I don't blame him because the things that he is saying are so stupid. I didn't hang up on anybody. I hung up on you. That was you, Justin. Justin, call back right now. All I did was put you on hold so you would shut the hell up. You hung up the phone. I didn't hang up on you. Call back right now. I don't care. Hello? Hello?
Wait.
Hello?
Hey, bro, you seeing the price of Amazon right now? And QQQ?
You're screaming. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, I'm back.
All right. Well, next time, don't hang up when I put you on hold.
Well, I didn't realize why you even put me on hold.
Because I've been trying to finish a sentence for 5 minutes, and literally every single time I try to speak, you cut me off. Okay.
I got my point, brother.
You finished your point 3 times, and every time I tried to speak, you started talking again. This type of live is for conversation and dialogue.
Go ahead.
No,
please.
sir, stop yelling. Okay, get your emotions in check. Okay.
I'm yelling.
Okay. I am here to have dialogue. If you're going to
talking.
See, here he goes again. If you're going to bring up a point and an argument, then I get to respond to that argument. When I am done, you can speak again. It's not that difficult. Okay? This isn't rocket science,
But when you make a point and then you put words into my mouth, I'm going to stop you.
Okay, well then you will get muted until I am done with my point, and then you can come up and refute whatever point you think I said wrong when I am finished.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, I'm ready to
go.
So
anyways, what I was saying was you have just completely gotten rid of your own point. Okay, because you said in no way did Donald Trump say he was going to raise prices, or why would he raise prices? Then you said he was implementing tariffs that would raise prices in order to bring back manufacturing jobs. So therefore, your entire point from the get-go has already been set moot. All right. Then we can talk about.
Okay, let me respond to that point.
That was my response to your point, sir. I haven't made a point.
But you just claimed that I said he is doing the tariffs.
Go ahead.
Purposely raise prices. I never claimed that. I said that we do not know what the tariffs are going to do long term, or that he's even going to continue with all of the tariffs. But I never said that he's doing that, like you claimed, to purposely raise prices.
Okay. Well, do you know what a tariff is?
I do know what a tariff is.
Okay, what is a tariff?
A tariff is basically a tax on imports from other countries in specific sectors.
Well, Donald Trump's are not on specific sectors. Donald Trump's are on all sectors.
That's not completely true. There's different tariffs that he has. But the point of the tariffs is that every other country has been using tariffs on the United States to build up their economies for the past 20 or 30 years. And the U.S. has not reciprocated those at all to any of these countries. And that includes allied countries or non-allied countries. They've all been taking advantage of us. So if you want free trade so everybody can benefit, you have to have equal tariffs or no tariffs from anybody. But it has to be fair trade.
So instead of pivoting all the way to your next point, I was still on the last one. Okay. If a tariff is a tax on everything that is imported, what happens to the prices of all those imported goods?
Those imported goods will go up. But then guess what happens? Manufacturing will come back into the country, giving jobs to Americans, and then American-made products will be cheaper. And all of these countries, like Japan, is bringing deals with Toyota to open up new manufacturing here in our country so that our citizens can benefit. And then those cars will not be more expensive because they'll be made here.
I know, he loves hearing himself talk. So, sir.
See, that's again, being condescending.
Sir, so you're saying that Donald Trump is purposefully raising the price of goods coming from this country in order to create manufacturing here, which will lead to lower prices later. That is your claim. So therefore, you are stating currently right now that Donald Trump is purposefully raising prices.
No. I said that we do not know the impacts of what these tariffs will do short-term
He's literally arguing against his own point. Currently, he is currently arguing against his own point. And anytime I bring it up to him, that's literally what he stops doing. That is literally what a tariff is for. The entire point of a tariff is to raise the prices on foreign goods for whatever reason that you're raising that price on foreign goods is for. Okay, i.e., when we raise the tariffs on freaking electric vehicles, we wanted to raise the price on electric vehicles, okay, in order to increase manufacturing of electric vehicles here. Okay, we wanted to make sure that Chinese electric vehicles, okay, were at such a high price that the American manufacturing was able to catch up with the freaking Chinese market before we move forward with that, because we were subsidizing those freaking companies on top of that in order to make sure that the auto industry was able to catch up. Okay, that is how it is freaking working. Okay, so literally the entire point of a tariff is to raise the price. There is no point besides a tariff. There is no point to a tariff outside of raising prices of foreign goods. And the reason for those is usually for American manufacturing to catch up. So you can't say, caller, at the same time that Trump is not purposefully trying to raise prices, and also during that same sentence say he is trying to raise prices in order to bring American manufacturing, and also at that same time say that he is raising prices on foreign goods because other countries have higher tariffs on us. You've just said 3 different reasons why Trump is purposefully raising prices using tariffs, and then also simultaneously said
3 reasons.
Yes, 3 reasons, and also simultaneously said
We're just talking
that
about
they're
one thing,
not
tariffs.
raising
That's not
prices.
3.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay. So let's move on here. So if we cannot manufacture any technology, we can't make our own steel. We don't even have any building materials hardly in this country. We basically import most of it. How can you even domestically protect yourself as a country? How are you a nation? At some point, we need tariffs to bring back competitive businesses to bring manufacturing in many different areas back to this country.
And what manufacturing is being brought back?
There's $7 trillion of deals right now. That's
Yeah.
going
What
through.
is being brought back? Because here's what I've seen from things that are being brought back. I saw freaking Toyota announce that they were freaking starting to build a new CRV here, which is already
Apple?
which is already a
Let me get the
manufacturing that's
list here.
already happening in the United States and was agreed to under Biden. The Apple manufacturing, again, was already a deal that was already in place, that was already agreed to under Biden. The NVIDIA building their AI chips here, already a plant that was already built in Arizona under the Biden administration to build chips here to help secure it. Oh, the Hyundai Steel,
but it is-
the Hyundai
I don't
Steel.
have a list
Oh
in
yeah,
front of me,
that was
but
also
it
a
is
thing that was
actual
under
fact
the
that
Joe Biden
$7
administration.
trillion
So what company?
of deals has been
Then tell
brought
me where.
since Trump
Then tell me
came
where.
into office.
Then tell me where. Because all of those all of those different companies, because all of those different companies that I just talked about, I can prove that every single one of them had a deal under Biden. Every single one of them, and Donald Trump is claiming those as his.
So let's just say we don't do tariffs. We just keep going as it is. Do you think that our economy can keep going for however long you think in the way it is currently, and we keep doing the same things and keep raising the national debt, keep being a finance state, not making anything here?
So you said a lot of things in there. When we talk about raising the national debt, you do realize that the proposed Donald Trump tax proposal raises the national debt ceiling by another $4.5 trillion, okay? So what he's doing is in no way adding to reducing the national debt. It's absolutely adding to it. Not to mention the fact that so far in his presidential term, federal spending is at its highest it's ever been in American history, okay? When you talk about what our economy
It was his first term because of COVID. And that would have happened under
It was
any
his
president.
first
They all
term
would have
before COVID hit. He spent more money before COVID as far as debt raising than Joe Biden did, including Joe Biden's COVID recovery plan. Okay, but we're not even talking about that
plan. He
plan.
locked up the country for
But
2
we're
years.
not even talking about that. We're talking about the current one that he's under. The current one that he's under projects a $4.5 trillion debt raise. The current plan.
I've never seen anything say 4.5 trillion under this current administration.
Okay, well that's pretty easy to find.
Where do you get the number? What was it from?
Trump's tax plan. Trump's actual tax plan. In Trump's actual tax plan, it freaking does that.
What part of the tax plan is
where he talks about the debt ceiling? Do you want me to tell you the exact paragraph? I don't have it up in front of me. I'm sorry. If you want me to tell you the exact paragraph, I do not have the exact paragraph in front of me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, it might be maybe one or two experts, in quotation marks, economists' takes saying it's going to raise it, but there's nothing out there that's showing that the U.S. national debt is raising right now at a trajectory of 4.5 trillion.
No, that's what he's asking Congress to approve. That is what he's asking Congress to approve. This is not a rate.
Pull it up.
Okay. It's above my head.
I got to turn you back on here. I can't even get video.
All right. It's from Colorado Newsline. U.S. House GOP releases budget that raises debt limit by $4 trillion, extends tax cuts.
Denver. I don't even see the article.
I can pull up more if need be. Not a problem.
It's okay.
It's again, sir. I read the actual tax proposal. Okay.
Okay, and you can't even tell me like one single like thought in it. Like give me give me like a basic summary of one part of the proposal.
Okay, cool. Donald Trump wants to cut things like veterans benefits. He wants to cut Medicaid. He wants to cut SNAP benefits. Okay. He wants to give a small, just like he did in this. Do you want me to tell you what's in the tax plan, or do you want to tell me what you heard Donald Trump said?
But you can't just make false.
I'm not
claims.
making false. Sorry. Have you read the proposed proposed GOP tax plan?
And he's not cutting the
Sir,
SNAP
have
stuff
you
either,
read the
he's
GOP's
just
tax
regulating
plan?
it.
Yes or
There's
no?
different things that you can and can't
Cool.
buy now. But it doesn't mean they're not getting it in general.
Have you read the GOP's tax plan?
Yes.
Oh,
Like
so
2 weeks ago.
So you're a whole fucking liar.
How am I lying?
You're a literal whole liar. Because you literally just 3 minutes ago said you hadn't.
You just said in his tax cut plan, he's lowering VA benefits and canceling SNAP benefits. That's completely incorrect.
Okay, what part of the tax plan says that?
I'm not the one bringing up the facts.
No, you read it, right?
Saying that he's doing this, so tell me, why is he doing this?
I was out of the way to telling you that. Then you cut me off to tell me how I did.
So what did he say that he's doing?
It's on the screen again, sir. I'm not really worried about this. This is not difficult.
Well, I mean, the live's not.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I can just put these. I can put these things on the screen all day long. This isn't something that is difficult. Okay, these are not things that are hidden. These are public records. Okay. These are public records. You know what's not in that tax cut bill?
Wait, hold on. I can see it now.
Good.
U.S. House GOP releases budget raise $4 trillion, extends tax cuts. So, from the Colorado Newsline, you see that, and you're just going to instantly say, "Oh, yep."
No, sir. It's because I read the actual tax plan.
Okay. So
the
show me
actual
where in the
tax
plan it says he's
Sir,
cutting
why would I
VA,
need to
all
show it
VA
to you?
benefits.
You just told me a minute ago that you already read it. Why would I need to show it to you if you've already read it?
I'm just
Is
waiting.
it maybe because you never fucking read it?
I did, brother. And it never said
my God, dude, lying does not fit you well. Lying does not fit you well.
SNAP benefits is that you can't buy fucking soda with it anymore. But that's not saying we're getting rid of all. Hello? Did you put me on hold again?
No, I got you here.
Okie dokie.
It's just stupid.
Aside from his whole tax plan, what else would you like to debate on?
Besides his whole tax plan? Besides the entire tax plan?
I'm just saying, besides that point, is there anything else that you'd like to debate on?
Sir, you couldn't debate the tax plan. What are we supposed to debate on?
And you don't even know what's in it. You said it's cutting VA benefits, and that's absolutely untrue.
That's actually a second bill.
Oh, it's a second bill, so it's not in the one that you're saying.
It's actually it's an addition to the one I'm saying. Yes, it's already been drafted and it's already up at Congress.
Yes, a SNAP food overhaul. I see it on your screen.
Which cuts
SNAP
which
food
cuts
overhaul
SNAP
doesn't mean
which
it's cutting
cuts
everything,
SNAP
it means
which
it's
cuts SNAP
changing
benefits
it.
by how much? The
I'm not sure
overhaul
how much it's
cuts
cutting,
SNAP benefits by how
exactly.
much?
I actually don't know that.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
don't know how much it's cutting exactly.
well, you would know if you read the tax bill. Anyways. It's ridiculous. You're arguing points you don't understand. Like, that's what's crazy. Like I have never seen somebody like just so adamantly freaking argue points that they don't understand.
What am I not understanding?
You don't understand the
what I'm
tax
not
plan. You don't understand. You're the one who made the claim, okay, that Donald Trump is trying to cut the debt. His tax plan specifically asked for a freaking raise in that. It talks about cutting SNAP benefits. It talks about cutting Medicaid, okay? All these bills that you're talking about, freaking stopping overtime, overtime taxes, stopping, like, none of those are in the bill. None of them. You know what is in the bill? Major freaking huge tax cuts to large corporations in the top 1%. Even bigger than his first tax cuts. Okay?
So
that's what's actually
point.
in the plan.
Back to my point previously, was you said that they are cutting all SNAP benefits and all VA benefits.
No, I did not say either of those. I did not say either of those
what?
things. I said they are cutting SNAP benefits and they are cutting VA benefits. I never said they were cutting all of them.
Okay. So what part of it are they cutting? And how much is it? Do you know?
They don't really talk about that, do they?
Oh, okay. So, but you're still out here saying they're cutting it for everybody and nobody can have VA benefits.
I never said that.
Or whatever.
Literally, again, never said that.
What do you mean, dude?
I literally never said that they are cutting the whole thing. Literally never said that. I literally said they are cutting SNAP benefits and they are cutting veterans benefits. I never said they are getting rid of the whole program that all freaking like that nobody was going to be able to get anything. Are you just like trying to be like a pro gaslighter? Is that what it is?
A what?
Pro gaslighter?
I'm not trying to gaslight you. I'm just debating you here.
No, you're gaslighting.
What am I gaslighting you about?
You're literally
Tell
saying
me.
things I didn't even say. What are you talking about, dude?
You said earlier in a quick little quip that they're cutting the VA benefits for everybody and they're cutting
I
SNAP for
never
everybody.
once said everybody.
And I
This
said,
is
no,
why
they're not.
you're gaslighting.
I said
This
they
is
might
sad.
be changing it, but they're not
This
cutting
is
it.
sad, dude.
Okay, anything else you want to debate on? I'm about done.
You're now done? All right, cool. Well, you can be done. I'm about to put on the screen how they're cutting veterans benefits, but that's fine.
Oh, put it up. That's fine. This just isn't going anywhere. Which benefits are being cut?
I don't know. Because the
then
Trump
why are you blaming
administration
something that you don't
hasn't
know?
said where they're cutting the money from. They just fucking said they're cutting $119 billion from veterans benefits. They said they're cutting it. They didn't say how much. Do you want me to
Maybe
do you want me to
because it
read?
wasn't
Do you
being
want me to
used
read?
properly.
Do you want me to
Maybe they're
read their fucking minds?
redistributing
Is that what you
it
want me to
to a
fucking do?
different area in
Is that
the
what you
same
to
VA
is that what you want
benefit.
me to do? Is to read minds? Is that what you're saying?
You're telling me something's happening, but you don't give me any examples or any proof of how it's happening. You're just saying it's happening and that Trump is doing it to be malicious towards the citizens of the United States.
Oh, I lost the paragraph. Freaking Sudan. The pair did not specifically call the but the type of spending they're talking about issues includes $120 billion for VA medical services, according to a report issued earlier this year from a congressional budget office.
What does that mean? Where's the proof?
You know what, sir? You have the day you deserve, okay? Goodness fucking gracious. I didn't know IQs got that low. Teresa, thank you so much for the $10 Cash App. I really appreciate that. It said, ask caller where is 197, 198 gas. Yeah, 100%. Goodness gracious. How many things did I have to prove to that guy in a row? Yeah, where's the proof? Reads the proof. I don't see any proof. You can't show any proof. Here's the proof again. Can't show any proof. Don't know where proof is. Don't know where any proof is. I'm mad I can't order it spicy. I'm gonna get off right now. All right, y'all. Hey, y'all. I'm gonna be done for the night. I probably actually might be on live tomorrow. I know normally I'm off on Thursdays, but I might actually be on tomorrow live for a little bit. So I really hope you guys come enjoy. Make sure if you're in a TikTok or you hit that like or hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. And don't forget that I will be doing the interview with one of the members of the Satanic Temple on Friday. Make sure you're checking out my video on that. Love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I will be back for more debates later. Y'all.